this world has been connected. And now darkness within darkness awaits you.
In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
My name is Ansem. I reach for the darkness. One who knows nothing can understand.
Tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast, the longest-running Kingdom Hearts podcast on the interwebs. MDA award-winning, by the way. I'm Mike, and with me, as always, is my brother, the beautiful, sexy, bald Jason. Hello, Jason.
Bald. You know, it's funny, I haven't shaved my head for a couple weeks, and so, I'm not so bald right now.
Oh, you're baldant. I was going to say balder, but that's not correct.
Yeah, unbalded for a second.
Unbalded. Every time I mention you're bald, someone in the comments goes, Jason shaved his head? You know, because not everybody hangs out with us on twitch.tv/Super SpikeGhetti Bros. And so they don't see you, and then they go,
I'm bald.
Last time I saw Jason, he had really long hair. Now he's bald. This is how we're going to start every podcast, is we're just going to talk about how bald you are.
Bald.
So we missed last week. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. You know, a boo turned into an elephant by Genie in the room.
Blue boo.
Disney.
We're still dragging
Disney.
it. Blue boo.
Blue boo.
They blue booed us like blue balls.
Life happens sometimes, so I apologize that we weren't current.
It was my fault.
But I wasn't gonna say it, but now that you said it, yeah, it's fucking Jason's fault, guys.
You guys already knew, but
fuck
I
that
just had
guy,
to come
right?
clean for my own conscience. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
no,
about you guys. It's not about being truthful to you guys. It's that I don't want to feel like shit. So I'm just
for
gonna
sure.
say it.
For sure, dude. It's all about your ego. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. At the end of the day, what is this all for?
I don't mean it in the way like ego, like when people say, "Oh, he's got a big ego." I mean in the way like that's just like, you know, your ego. Like that's like part of you, you know. And we all just do things to satisfy our own ego. You know, I'm getting real introspective.
Bro
But
took
what I
psych
wanted to
class
say.
one time.
I watched a YouTube video. I watched a BioRoxas YouTube video.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. Bro's picking up jargon.
I watched. I watched
BioRoxas.
a therapist plays Life is Strange or something. So I'm assuming he does that. I don't actually know. Love you, Bio. What I was gonna say, Jay, is because of the way we record this podcast, sometimes this is gonna happen because we don't bank episodes. You know what I mean? We're not like some of these other podcasts out there that are like, oh, we're going to record our whole second season before we even post one. You know what I mean? Like, we're not some of these regular ass podcasts that are like, oh, season 2's coming soon, and they already know what's happened in it. You know what I mean? We're not one of those.
Oh, hell nah.
We do things in the moment, you know? You're getting this podcast 2 days after it was recorded, you know? We're not
fresh.
Banking
That's
stuff.
still
It's
fresh.
It's new.
We're
still
marinating for only 2 days, but that was a banging marination.
Yeah.
You know?
We're doing the same jokes we did 5 years ago, but it's fresh, you know?
Right, but it's fresh. It's hey. Just because you had the same recipe doesn't make it worse the second time. Like, you know, like there's some recipes where like you have it right away when you make it and it's good. But like after a couple days of it like sitting there and you're having the leftovers and it like gets better. Like a really good soup. Like if you make a big batch of soup, that shit gets better over time. So we're not gonna get lost in the sauce. We're gonna get lost in the soup. But it's gonna be good, better because it's 2 days fresh.
But yeah, anyway, we're not one of these stupid fucking podcasts. The fucking. Just throwing shade at regular Pat and PJ. NBA award-winning podcast.
Guys. It's
well, that's
good.
the thing. That's the thing, is it's like, if you thought we weren't going to make fun of the podcast that won the MDA after us, you've lost your fucking mind, okay? No sad faces. More like no happy faces, because no one likes it. Am I right, Jay?
Got him.
Anyway, love you, Pat and PJ. So, Jay, what we've been doing, if you've been living under a rock and you don't remember, is we've been doing our Kingdom Hearts 1 book club.
Does the rock have, like, give me amnesia?
Yeah, the rock gives you amnesia. Well, I meant
you're living under the rock of amnesia. We're in the book
people
club,
at
guys.
home. The people at home living under a rock, not you. I know you know.
You were addressing me. What?
I said Jason, comma. There was a comma.
There was no pregnant pause comma there, but okay.
I paused very pregnantly. Thank you. There was. I was so pregnant with my pause. I just threw up from morning sickness. Okay. That's a little pregnancy joke for all you ladies out there. You're welcome. We're doing the book club. And this week we played through Locking the Keyhole in Traverse Town, Agrabah, and Monstro the Whale. So we're going to kind of go over that. Bonehole. And yeah, that's what this podcast is now, I guess. Is there anything you want to talk about before we?
Why did you say it like that? Like, why did you say it like that?
I don't know.
I guess that's what this fucking is now. Like,
I don't know, Jay. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
What is this
We missed
energy?
a week. We missed a week, and it threw me off, man. Okay. I was locked in, and now I'm not locked.
He's all crossed up now. Okay.
I'm all crossed up. I don't know how to work the body. I guess we'll just. I do want to say one thing before we get started.
We'll just go over what we just said. Like,
No. Before we get into this, I have something I do want to say, and that's a few weeks ago, people were talking about this leak that said Kingdom Hearts 1 was being remade for sure, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
I think I even mentioned on one of the episodes that this is not real. We didn't talk about it a lot, but I just said, this is not real.
Well, like the leaker was like really dodgy. Like their track record wasn't great.
Right. And so they showed like the screenshots that this leaker was supposedly pulling from were revealed, and they were like some like really terrible looking like fan made like
possibly AI
like
kind of shit
in like Roblox or like Dreams or something ass Kingdom Hearts, Little Big Planet created.
They
you know what I
just,
mean?
Like tried to remake it in Unreal kind of thing. Yeah.
It did not look good. Wow, I'm not surprised, right? I think anybody who really thought about it critically is not surprised.
Yeah.
But a lot of the big KH YouTubers, the fat cats, as regular Pat would call them, were reporting on this. Like, could this leak be real? Just being so disingenuous with the thumbnail and the
the crumbs of news.
KH1 remake is what the thumbnail says, but it doesn't say it's fake or it doesn't say it's a rumor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like baiting people into like believing their own hype. And then one of these YouTubers, fuck it, I'll just say it, the Gamers Joint, posted a video after it was revealed the leak was fake with like Sora crossing his arms and looking upset and going, "It's fake." Like, brother, the call is coming from inside the room. You are are the person who was like hyping this up like it was some real fucking thing that people should be excited about. Don't like
check your previous thumbnail.
Right. Like that's what drives me nuts about that shit is it's just like, hey, I get it. You're in the YouTube machine. You're trying to make content for a game that's not giving you a lot to work with. I completely understand.
Nomura
but like, don't
is
like
just taking food off your table.
Like brothers talking to himself in the mirror like he has the Green Goblin mask. You know, it's like this leak is real. The leak's not real. Like you can't be both, dude. Like and it like it drives me a bit insane to see that kind of stuff still going on with like. Right.
KH1 remake.
Tell everybody it's real.
Come out to play.
Tell everybody it's real, and then when it's revealed it's not, act like you thought that the whole time.
And then after, like, you can't do this to me. I started this clickbait. Somehow, just milking it from both ends.
Yeah, and I get that's the game, and you know what? He's made a big following doing that kind of thing. So it's like, why am I beating a dead horse at this point? But this is like my only outlet to really complain about this stuff. Because when I complain to it about my friends, they're just like, dude, we don't care. Shut up.
Like,
so you guys at home listening have to deal with it. Bald man yells at Cloud. You know what I mean?
What is Cloud doing, you know?
What is Cloud doing?
He's getting yelled at.
All right. So because of the terrible monetization habits of YouTube and Spotify, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to go over the part of the book club. Yay! All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that ad that probably played there. I don't know. I don't know how it works. And
I'm a fraud. We have no idea how it works.
I have no idea how it works. It did just remind me that for some reason last episode on Apple Podcasts just like cut off at the end. And I think it's ad related. I don't understand why. The file I uploaded was the right file and it's the right file on Apple Podcasts. But when you go to listen to it, it just like cuts off after Jip's Clayton impression. And I don't know how to fix that. So if that's happening to you and you listen on Apple Podcasts, or if it's happening on any other, I think someone said they listened on Google and it had that too. I apologize.
That's so weird.
The full version is on YouTube and Spotify. This might be some ploy by Spotify to like make it so you only put your podcasts on their platform. I don't know.
They hacked into everything else.
Yeah, I don't know, because we upload using Spotify for Podcasters, which used to be called something else that I don't remember the name of right now. So we weren't signing up to be part of the Spotify conglomerate, but that's what happened. You know, they bought out our podcasting service. So
like
here
Stitcher
we are.
or some shit.
No, it was. Well, we used one. I don't even remember any of the names, so I don't know why I'm saying it. But we used one before the first like season, and then we switched to this one, and now it's bought by Spotify, and it has been for a while. I'm trying to get Netflix started doing podcasts, Jay.
Okay.
And they started handing people big money to have their podcast be on Netflix. So I'm hoping that Netflix, Ted Sarandos or somebody from Netflix reaches out to us and goes, "Hey, bring the Super Spaghetti Podcast Network to Netflix."
Specifically, only Squid Pro Quo.
That might be the only one that gets picked up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fair.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That might be I don't think anybody's calling about CBT or fine, I'll do it myself. Second Breakfast. That's another one that people probably aren't calling about. I think maybe we could get the synergy with What Is This, a Crossover episode, considering that's a Netflix series, right?
Yeah.
Same with Squid Pro Quo, but I don't think the Ansem report's getting picked up. So
until the Kingdom Hearts anime comes out, yo.
Yeah, let's go.
Clickbait it.
It's happening for sure. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go over... I'm just kidding. Oh, I should do it, though. That'd be funny, right?
We don't know
actually
how it
put
works.
I do know how it works, actually. If I could put in an ad break there, that would be
He was
really
just
funny.
lying earlier. Nice. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, I'll include this to be transparent. I know how it works.
I have one thing to say before we start. I forgot to do the very end of OC last time where, like, you try to leave and Cloud talks to you and shit, right?
Okay.
Always right away when I start, like, reading or hearing in Japanese, it, like, takes me a second to lock in. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, they're talking crazy fast, especially Hades. Hades is like that voice actor should be like one of those what are they called where they do like the bidding, the person who runs it.
Oh, fuck, what are they called?
Anyway, yeah.
Auctioneer, an auctioneer.
Sure, yeah. He should be an auctioneer.
There's a different name for it.
Bro was actually like rap godding his lines because he has such a small amount of time to say what he wants to say, kind of thing. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm trying to lock in, and then I feel fully locked by the end. I'm like, all right, you know, let's get it. And then I have to go on the gummy ship back to Twilight Town. Are you kidding me? I just, every time I'm in the gummy ship, I'm getting more and more radicalized against the gummy ship, bro.
Yeah, I get it. I just kind of, when I'm playing, I've just been kind of tuning it out and doing something else.
Right, dude, I literally, I was in a
button.
call with Tyler, and I literally said, and now it's time to open my phone. Because it's just... You can literally just AFK for most of them, pretty much.
Are you just like watching reels, or what do you do on your phone? When you...
Yeah, I'm just straight watching Instagram reels, bruh. And they're talking to me about how Jim Carrey may or may not be a clone or something,
true.
You know?
That's true.
I can't get away from it.
Mike edited me saying, that was weird. There. What I do is I've been downloading shitty mobile games and playing them.
Ooh.
In the meantime,
Okay.
right now I'm hooked on this one called Blaze Shooter. Color Blaze Shooter is the full name. You know, you never know what the actual name of these games are.
Yeah,
right?
It's got like 4 different names, like whether it's like on the app or on your phone or then like on the loading screen.
Right.
And then permissions, it's like a different name too. It's like the shooter game would like to access your.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what? This isn't even a shooter game. What the fuck? Like what?
I played this game. It's basically there's a like a picture made of tiny blocks of different colors, and then you have these little shooters that you send out on the track, and they shoot their color. And the idea is to get rid of the whole picture, but you can only have 5 shooters out there at a time. And then if you then you could have 5 shooters in storage. But if you go over 5 on the storage, then you lose and you have to start over. So it's really mindless because you just got to like balance the shooters. But what happens is then in between each level, when you lose, you get an ad, right, for a different game, because that's how these mobile games work. And I keep getting these ads for these games that are like, it will be like a woman with blue hair and she has small children with her and they're like homeless and like they get like covered in snow, or the little girl cuts her hand open, and all these horrible things happen to them. And then it's like, do the merge gaming to save them, and then you're just like merging items, and it's like they're trying to like tug on your heartstrings to like save these like poor women. And it's like a merge game, and I was like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. Yeah. Anyway, that was Mike's mobile game corner, not sponsored by Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. But that's what I do when I play gummy missions, is play color shooter or whatever I called it. You were locked. Your point was you were locked in, and then gummy mission unlocked you.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you sit down, you're like, all right, time to play some Kingdom Hearts, and then you like watch a cutscene, and then you're like, all right, time to game, and then it's like 5-minute cutscene, but it's on rails, and you have to hold down X. Like, fuck you, dude. Okay, what a wet blanket.
So you ended up at Traverse Town, I'm assuming.
Yes.
At that point, and that's where we are starting for today, and. You got the Red Trinity at some point. I believe it was in Deep Jungle. The idea, or Yeah, and the idea is that unlocks the secret tunnel, where
the mountain.
Leon and Aerith are. And it's kind of like, I've never noticed this before, but you kind of swim up on them. They're standing on this little embankment near the water. Leon's just kind of like every once in a while practicing a sword swipe. And Aerith is just straight standing there watching him.
She's like, wow, great job, Leon.
Yeah. And you think Aerith's ever like, well, hey, let me stand in front of you. I'm used to this, you know? Haha. FF7 joke. You're welcome, everybody. But basically, they talk about, when you talk to them, about Ansem's report again. And they talk about how if the Heartless get to the heart of the world disappears. And that's what happened to like Destiny Island. But if Sora locks the keyholes, then he can stop that from happening. Maybe there's a keyhole here you need to lock, right? You also show him the gummy block that he goes, hey, he just kind of like ellipses a couple times. And I don't know what it's like implying. Like he doesn't know what to say. And then Aerith just goes, ask Sid, he should know. In my head, I'm like thinking like maybe what they're supposed to be like. Well, he does it again too. I forgot. So then he talks to you again. He gives you Earthshine, which is the summon gem for Bambi. And he goes, this will help you. And Sora goes, how do you use it? And then he double ellipses again.
Oh, maybe that was the one I was just looking at. Let me see if I can find the first one.
Then if you talk to him after it, he just ellipses. He doesn't say anything. So I don't know if like maybe later they go, by the way, Leon's upset because he was thinking about how he lost his world and had to change his name. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You go to Merlin's and give the fairy godmother Earthshine, and she turns it into Bambus, who drops like lots of healing things and other money and all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, when you go in there and Sora sees Kairi, bro, Kairi's theme is just the best theme, bro. I don't care. Everybody sits here saying, nah, it's Xion.
Oh, you're talking about when you first go in there?
Kairi's, yeah, bro. Kairi's theme
we talked about that last time.
Is so goated, bro. Like I every time it just immediately puts you straight into the feelings that you should be feeling in that moment. You know, like it's so OP.
Yeah, it's a really good theme. So then you bring the gummy part to Sid, and he's like, "You don't know shit about gummies, you little fuck." And Sora's like, "Easy, man. We don't know a lot of things. We're just trying to save the world." And he's like, "Oh, my bad. I'll help you. Just give me a minute. But in the meantime, can you go look at the bell tower? And deliver this book." So yeah, no, I was wrong. You don't get Earthshine if you go because you haven't delivered the book yet. When you deliver the book, I think that's when she gives you when she turns Earthshine into Bambi.
Well, one thing that I guess I forgot that this is part of just opening Merlin's door, because normally, like when you leave there from giving the book, then that's when you run into Riku.
Oh yeah. That's when you run into Riku in the 3rd district. Yeah. I didn't do Winnie the Pooh. I think we'll save Winnie the Pooh for once we get all the torn pages. You know, I think that makes more sense.
You know, the cutscene where he runs into Riku is really cool. It's funny. I watched it like in my playthrough, and then immediately after I watched it in English just to see what it was like. And what's funny is in Japanese, he says a phrase that's like very, very common phrase, which is makasete, which is like just like leave it to me, like let me handle it kind of thing. And he says it like way earlier in the sentence, and then that's when Sora does the one shot on the shadow. Sora's like, "Wait, leave it to who?" And then he's just straight aura farming on him.
Right.
But in English, it feels like really raw because like Riku is literally in the middle of saying like, yeah, if you leave it to me, or like just like he is just saying leave it to me, and then Sora goes like, wait, leave it to who? Whereas in Japanese, he had kind of already said it for a second and then was kind of moving on. like, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that, and then he's like, wait, believe it to who though? Like that. I was like, oh my god, bro, I don't remember this Aura Farm scene. I don't know why.
Yeah. I've seen some people talk about this scene a little bit, how they kind of blame it on Donald that Riku vanishes, right?
Yeah,
Which is fair, because Donald kind of goes, no, he can't come with us, right? And Sora's like, what? But it's really
there's
everything
like two
leading up
things
to
about
that.
that scene that feels so weird to me though. Like that's why I like the Aura Farm, but then immediately after, it's kind of dog. Donald is just being a dick for no reason.
Again,
Just saying, yeah, I don't care that he's your friend, and you've been desperate to find him for like probably like weeks or something at this point, right?
mm-hmm.
And your whole world is gone, and he's your best friend, and you now just found him. I don't care. He can't come with us. Like, bro, what? Like,
Yeah.
Imagine, like, you just lost your entire like hometown, right? Like your hometown just got like Thanos snapped. Like you'd have like PTSD about this shit. And then your new homie who helps you find your old homie, it's like, nah, bruh, he can't fuck with us. I don't care. Like, bro, what?
Donald's being real cringe, but leading up to it, Sora does the aura farming, and Riku's kind of like, what? And then Goofy comes up and goes, yeah, Sora's the Keyblade Master, by the way, And so, like, Riku, as we find out in a minute, he's been getting fed all these lines by Maleficent about, Sora doesn't care about you anymore. He just cares about the Keyblade and those two friends. Like, he's forgotten you, right? And then it all just plays into that, right? That manipulation that she does. But yeah, Donald, this is the second point where Donald's just unnecessarily a dick. It's like the same in Deep Jungle to me. Like he does that. And
we don't have another seat in the gummy ship.
Riku vanishes while they're arguing. And Sora just kind of goes, oh, well, I'm glad he's okay.
Bro, that
like,
part
what?
triggers me too, bro. That was the other thing I wrote down. Like, you're kidding me, bro? Like, I get he's this, like, happy-go-lucky, like, always look on the bright side kind of guy. But, like, bro, he has he was down bad begging every single person that he ran into, mentioning Riku and Kairi. Like, what do you mean you're just over it?
Right.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I guess maybe we'll run into Kairi next. Like, bro, Saibao, what do you mean? Like, you were just crying, hallucinating seeing them because you wanted to see them so badly, and now you're like, well.
Yeah. I think if they would have just, like, given him a moment of, like, running around and looking around corners, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, where'd Riku go? Oh, no, Riku, right? That would have done so much more than just, oh, well, at least he's okay, right?
Or, like, yeah, like, have a moment, because he's had, like, a bunch of different, like, mirages that he's seen where maybe he's like, you guys saw him too, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Like, that was there. Like, Riku, where are you? Kind of thing. Like, you can't just leave me. I just saw you kind of thing, right? And then it's like, then it feels more like a dagger digging into Riku when you see him standing there and he's like, Riku, I just finally got you and now you're gone. No.
Right.
And he's like, no, I can't. I'm too jealous of his new friends.
They do a poor job of making him feel welcome, right? So like you somewhat get, and when you find out that Maleficent's been whispering in his ear, you kind of get it a little more, but it's just like,
yeah.
I think because they knew they had to,
They're kids,
bring Riku into Monstro and even Agrabah a little bit, that they had to kind of set up this like evil turn, because otherwise, like, if Sora sees him for the first time and he's working with like Jafar or whatever, that probably wouldn't be satisfactory either. But like, I just don't think it was done properly here.
I think even the like idea that it's like, oh well, he's a kid and that's why. It's like, bro, have you ever seen a kid get separated from somebody that they love? They crash out, bro. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
They're triggered.
Yeah, exactly. So you go into the house and Sid, Leon, and Aerith are there, and you talk to him, and Sid's like, you guys ever heard of Maleficent? I hear she's in town. Sora's like, who is she? He goes, a witch, man. She's a witch. Like, Sid is flipping out about Maleficent, and I think it's really fucking funny.
Dude, there was one thing that made me laugh really hard when you give him the block in Japanese. He's like, oi, 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 oi. It's pretty good.
So they
what
explain
do we have here?
what happened at Hollow Bastion and how they lost their world to Maleficent, basically bringing the Heartless there. And they talk about the Ansem report again.
They
And
just really like our podcast.
yeah, they do. And then here we see this is the resistances of Traverse Town's like secret base is what they call it, secret hideout. It's just a house, and standing right outside the house, looking in the front window, looking in the front window are Maleficent and Riku, who have found their secret base. And this is where we get Maleficent going, "Hey, while you were looking for him, he just replaced you with new friends. Like, what? You shouldn't worry about this boy, you know."
I want to do like a no clip in that cutscene to like look through the window just to see how big, because like I feel like that window is kind of low. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a big window. Like you could probably see his entire body just standing there like 5 feet away.
Yeah. Sid installed a warp gummy and the navigation gummy for you. And he says, "Hey, you want to see my real job? It's in the 1st district." And of course, his real job is to sell you gummy parts. But then Aerith brings up the bell in the 2nd district, which is you're supposed to go ring 3 times. That unlocks where the keyhole is and where you fight reverse armor. Is that what he's called?
Yeah, reverse guard armor.
Isn't it just reverse armor? I think they remove the guard.
Let me check gageguides.com.
Yeah, gageguides.com. Gageguides.com. I don't know why I say it like Borat.
Opposite armor is what it's called.
Opposite armor. Okay, I knew it was something like that. But you beat him up at first because he just looks like guard armor, and then he goes, "Guess what? Now my feet are my hands, and my hands are my feet, bitch." And you're like, "Oh shit! Does that really help?" You know, like yeah. I don't really understand. Like it's like, oh, such a big deal. But
it always reminded me of this like Transformer toy that I had that could go from being like a robot into being like a gorilla, and it basically did that because you know like how like
it was Beast Wars
gorillas. Yeah.
It was Optimus Primal, dude. Optimus Primal.
The gorilla's got the really, really long front arms or whatever. So like that's the legs when you spin it around. So it just makes sense.
But yeah, his feet kind of like the arches of his feet kind of bend to make like little hands, but then his hands just kind of stay as like monkey feet. But then he also just like kind of floats anyway. So it's like, I don't know. The transformation, I get they just wanted to reuse the boss for thematic reasons, but like the transformation's kind of silly to me. But I like it. I like how silly it is. It's like, oh yeah, check it out. Look at my feet hands, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then like you fight it, like the first phase is like you can like see how much stronger you've gotten, kind of thing. And like
it's
you,
cool.
Like, insta kill it, and then it's nice.
He turns into a big like cannon at one point too, where he's just shooting like fucking Hadoukens out of his bottom part, I guess is what I'll call it. But then once you defeat him, you are able to lock the keyhole in Traverse Town. I've always really liked this keyhole design, like where it is, just like in the fountain in the middle of town. I've always thought that was really cool, and I think it's cool that they even gave you the ability to lock the keyhole here, because I feel like in a lot of games, like you have a hub world and you don't really do anything in the hub world, right? It's just a hub world where you get lore and maybe buy items and stuff. But here they're like, hey, you can lock a keyhole here and do more than just like the average place. So I really do enjoy that. Do you have any other thoughts on Traverse Town second visit before we move on to?
Oh yeah, then you can go back into the accessory shop to get Pinocchio, right?
Yeah. So okay, I was gonna ask you about this because I'm very confused about the Pinocchio timeline, because I don't think I know this existed. I don't think I've ever seen this. So you go in the accessory shop
before.
You go in the accessory shop and Pinocchio's in there.
He's just like lying on the ground.
And there's like a little item next to him. Jiminy asks what he's doing. He goes, "I was playing hide and seek." We realize his nose grows because he was lying, because that's what happens to him. I don't know. It's just kind of strange because it's like, how does he get to Monstro?
Well, the idea is that you take him with you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that what I've...
The idea is that you take him with you, and then like, then he immediately is like crashing out.
See, I had never caught that ever. I just thought he was there in Monstro.
I believe so.
No, I thought like he was independent of us, is what I'm saying. Like I didn't realize that the idea was you were supposed to talk to Pinocchio here, and that goes that he's coming with you, and then you go to Monstro, and that's how he gets to Monstro. I had never caught that, I guess, because it's a cutscene that's easily missable too.
Yeah,
because when you go back in the accessory shop, Travis Town's in there. Travis Town the second, because we watched the first Horribly Die.
Yeah. Travis Town Jr.
Junior. So I guess I had never clocked that. I believe you that that's how it's supposed to go, because that makes sense to me. But I had always thought Pinocchio had always been there with Geppetto. I will say I went and did the first Phil Cup at this point. I got to one of the final fights and died, and I was so fucking tilted.
Oh, you tried one?
Yeah. Well, the guard armor that you fought at the end, like I had less than half health and I didn't realize. And so he just like one-shot me with a move, and I was so fucking mad. I was like, but then I did it again anyway because I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna lose. But I just did it because I was like, I might as well do it now, might as well.
What do you get for it again?
That's what I'm scrubbing through my footage. Oh, you get gravity.
Ooh.
You get gravity if you do it. So kind of worth. Gravity's pretty tight. But then you go in the war pole, and you end up at Agrabah.
Okay, one thing that feels so weird, obviously I've been shitting on Gummy Ship, right? But like I'm hugging the left because I know, okay, this is where this portal is. Then right when you get to the portal, they stop you and they're like, hey, sir, this is the portal that you need to go into, or else you're just gonna go to Wonderland again. Right. And then it puts your ship in the center, so you need to immediately hard left it again. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? Who designed this to happen this way? What the fuck? Like it's literally on rails. How did you fuck up it being on rails?
It's really strange.
Anyway, enough about hating on Gummy.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You can hate on it. You end up in Agrabah, and Maleficent and Jafar are there. And this is Gilbert Gottfried doing Iago, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure he's one of the actors that reprised it, because he liked to check, But the way he just goes, she disappeared like magic, like always makes me laugh. Because they're looking for Jasmine, because she is a princess. Jafar kind of is on a heater in this world. I'm torn about Agrabah, Jay, because I think it has some of the worst collections of bosses that you could imagine, right?
Yeah.
But I do...
It is Gilbert Gottfried.
Okay, cool. Rest in peace, King. I do... While I think it's the worst collection of bosses I can think of, I don't mind like the exploration of the areas. I think the exploration is cool, especially in the Cave of Wonders. I even think like the bazaar is cool. Very vertical. Lots of like, hey, unlock this keyhole here, which unlocks a gate here, which blah 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 blah. And I think the story content is really good in this world. I think Jafar's on a heater. I think he says a lot of like lines that I still think of all the time. Setting your sights a little high, aren't you, boy? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like it is really tight to me. But the bosses, like this is like a murderer's row of dog shit mechanic bosses, okay?
Yeah.
Because you got the pot centipede who just like can just ignore you, like, and decide to reform and shock you with its backside, and it's just pot centipede's garbage. The Cave of Wonders itself is maybe the worst fight in the game, and I'm reserving. Yeah. I'm saying maybe because I haven't fought Ursula yet, Big Ursula. But the Cave of Wonders is awful, and it's not even. We talked a couple episodes ago, or maybe last episode, about the game having you do boss fights where you don't quite have the tools to deal with them yet. That's not what's happening with the Cave of Wonders. You never have the right tools to deal with the Cave of Wonders.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
it's just CVT. You will
bad.
just suffer.
Right. It's just bad. And then you get Jafar, who is fine, but then will just like decide I'm going to just zoom around the room and I'm unreachable. And so he's not a hard fight, but it's just like annoying.
Yeah.
And then Genie Jafar is just such a toss-up on whether Iago cooperates or not.
Yeah.
And so like the last 2 bosses aren't hard, but there's a lot of like, hey, just got to stand around and wait. And then the first 2 bosses are just like hard and terrible. And so it's this like weird murderer's row of terrible boss fights that conceptually, like when you look at like, oh, it's really cool that you're going up against Genie Jafar or Jafar himself, or like even the pot centipede in the Cave of Wonders is a good idea, like on paper, as far as like, oh, this is cool. But like the actual execution of them is pretty dog shit in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I'm definitely leaning more towards I hate Agrabah, and not even from like it's because we like you go there again and again and again and shit. Like it's not even from that. It's like, okay, so you do have like the platforming and the level design, but the platforming and level design is absolutely hamstrung by the camera, because like when you have it on auto camera, it's like it feels too zoomed in. If it was zoomed out a little bit and you could like see more, like the FOV kind of thing, it would be really cool. You can like see where you need to go. You're like always like needing to like mess with the camera and stuff because the auto camera's terrible and it doesn't like zoom out when you get close to a wall. You just can't freaking see, right? So you have that, and then you have freaking the evil Mount Rushmore of bosses. By far the worst set of bosses, and the fact that there's so many of them too.
The like, evil Mount Rushmore.
It's truly evil or Mount Rushmore, and like
some would tell you that Mount Rushmore itself is evil, Jason.
Because I'm playing on beginner, because for me a lot of my time is like looking into more of the cutscenes. Like that's like a very much like the point for me, and like going through the story again, and obviously like the fights are still decent, but like I literally demolished the pot centipede. The second it got out of the first tunnel, I already killed it. Like just
nice.
Slaughtered it. Beginner is so goated, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm like, maybe this won't be so bad. And then Cave of Wonders, bro. Even on beginner, using all the strength boosts and all that bullshit, it's so dog shit. You have the people flying at you. You have it shaking its head. Sometimes it will just like decide to like do like 5 moves that aren't putting its head in the sand until it puts its head in the sand to get back on it. Sora will just randomly jump, even if you're like point blank, like standing right next to the eye. And then because if you jump at all, Sora can get flung off way easier, because like you need to like stand on the snout to not for like the gravity to like work. I don't know. There's some weird shit with like, because I know like there's a bunch of different ways how video games do interaction with like your character's gravity, basically when it's on something that's like moving, right? Like on like a pirate ship or something, there's like a lot where it's like, okay, do you have like basically every time that character that the model moves of the ship, do you put that X and Y and Z coordinate change to the character at the same time? But then if there's like tiny clipping and stuff, like do you like there's like a million different ways that you can like figure that out. However they did it, it's just super super annoying in KH1. On top of the like people trying to hit you and everything, you're just always gonna end up like, it's just like some time loss where it's like not really difficult, it's just super annoying, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, bro, what? I remember like when I played KH2 a ton when I was like a teenager, and then like I hadn't played KH1 in a long time. I remember thinking very fondly of the Cave of Wonders and being like, man, I wish the Cave of Wonders was in KH2, and like, fighting the tiger head was cool, and like, going inside of it was cool, and seeing all of that. I miss doing the fight or whatever, right? I don't know why the hell I ever thought that. Genuinely, I don't know how I had any nostalgia for this fight.
Right. Yeah.
It is terrible.
I think it's because it is aesthetically cool, right? That's what it has going for it. Is it's like Nomura saw that fucking tiger head and goes, "What if we fought that?" And it's like that's a cool idea in concept, but then you make, and I think maybe if you make the snout the hitbox, maybe it's better. But they said, hey, you gotta. It's thematically it's possessed by darkness, and so you have to hit it out of the eyes, right? And it's just a poorly designed fight. From a mechanics standpoint, aesthetically it's cool as shit, and that's why I think you probably have that nostalgia for it, but yeah, mechanically it's absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
really
and
bad.
Then the Jafar fight, I one cycled him. Like, he did not move from the first platform. I was like, okay, we're so back. But one thing that I thought was really funny is the Japanese VA does the exact same, like, dabu 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 dabu. I was like, wait a second. He did the same voice line. Wait a second. I know that voice line.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
because it's not like a language. Like,
no, it's just gibberish. It's just like semi-racist gibberish. It's like, it's like, what
just
the
have
fuck
both
is
of them
that?
do it, bro. Just have both of them do it, bro. And then the Jafar Genie fight, my Iago dead ass bugged. Like, I literally broke the game where when you're looking at where Jafar is, there's like the platforms to the right. I'm hitting him in the center for a second, and then he goes to the right. And then he's just floating at max height in the very middle, in between both platforms, for probably like an entire minute total. Because, like, at first I'm like getting a couple of one hits, like 1, 2, 3 hits on it, jumping 1, 2, 3, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for this dude to like move. And then I just sit there playing chicken with him, and he never moves. I was like, bro, what? So then I had to go back to doing these like chip hits on it, like 1 or 2 hits at a time. And then it finally came back to the middle, and then I killed him. I was like, bro, what just happened? Yeah. Like, what? What? I've never seen that. Imagine like I'm like trying to like speed run KH1 and that happens to me, bro. Yeah. I'm mauling.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I will say a lot of what I'm talking about with how these bosses are dog shit wasn't really informed by this playthrough, because like I didn't really have trouble with Pot Centipede, but it's also because I've had trouble with Pot Centipede in the past, and so I know exactly what to do, right? It's not like I haven't played this game in like 20 years and I'm like, but even knowing exactly what to do with the Cave of Wonders, it still sucked, right?
Yeah.
Jafar was kind of a dick to me, and you obviously are doing a lot more damage because you're on beginner and you have all those power boosts and stuff. But like he was a dick. I wasn't frustrated with it though, because I do think the aesthetic of that fight is fun enough with like Genie, like, look out, fellas, and like trying to hit you kind of thing is funny.
Yeah.
Of it all is cool, and he has cool spells, and it's cool. And then Iago really cooperated with me on the boss, the Genie boss, so I didn't have issues this time. But I've seen what the worst case scenario is, and it's really bad, and that's usually on proud mode, and it's just not, It's a murderer's row, evil Mount Rushmore of bosses, as you said. Yeah. I think the real evil Mount Rushmore of bosses, maybe we put this together when we're done with the whole series, but the real evil Mount Rushmore, because they all would like fit on Mount Rushmore, is the Cave of Wonders, Chernobog, Ursula, and Genie Jafar from KH2. That's actually the real evil Mount Rushmore. Those are all gigantic assholes.
I feel like for me, Genie, because I know like the strat, there is a strat to get the quick kill on Genie Jafar in KH2.
Yeah.
So like my hatred for him is like definitely way less now.
Yeah,
and like
that makes sense.
The last like several times I fought him too was like in rando where you can get like Giga OP too. So it's like my hatred for him is definitely lessened.
Maybe it's like Chain of Memories Ursula or something, because she's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That is a terrible fight.
Yeah, that fight's really bad. Story-wise, because we kind of talked about the bosses with Aladdin, so I don't know that I'm going to recap this world, so to speak, but basically,
like you go into the alley, like you get there, you go into the side alley, and she's hiding behind the boxes, right?
right.
And then Jafar shows up and he takes her, and then you go into Aladdin's room and you find
carpet's there, yeah.
carpet. And one thing, am I crazy, or did rooms in KH1 used to have like question marks before you'd go into them if you hadn't been there before? Like,
I think so.
Am I crazy? Because like I remember when I'm running up, I never thought about it until I went to go into Aladdin's room, which I don't think I had been in. Unless, like, do you spawn in there? I don't remember. But, like, I just noticed, like, I'm not seeing the question marks. Like, because there's normally, like, 3 question marks when you're trying to go into a room that you've never been in before. Maybe is that just, like, a KH2 thing? Does that start in KH2? Like, am I crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a KH2 thing. You might be crazy.
Anyway, I noticed that. But anyway, yeah, so you go back into Aladdin's room. You help the carpet get unstuck, step bro. And then it flies out, and then you go chase it, and then it brings you to Aladdin. You save Aladdin. Then you come back. You and Aladdin try to save Jasmine, but Jafar steals the lamp from Aladdin, and Aladdin's basically contemplating, like, oh, like, what should my next 2 wishes? Hopefully, if we can save Jasmine with the second one, then my third one, I'll wish you to be free, genie.
Right.
And
kind of like
then-
the movie, yeah.
Yeah, and then they go. He's like, yo, save Genie. And then they don't show anything at all, but Iago just flies by with the lamp. And
Yeah.
Jafar's like, actually, belay that order. And then then there's the pot centipede, and then you go to the Cave of Wonders to chase him down, and that's the gist of this of the story. But then at the very end, once you've defeated Jafar, while you were fighting, the idea is that Maleficent came and stole Jasmine, and so now she's fully gone. And so with Aladdin's third wish, he decides, hey, I'm going to release Genie, but I'm begging you, please go with Sora to help find Jasmine. And then that's
Right.
how you get the Genie summon.
Right. And I think, obviously, if Aladdin just wishes for Jasmine to come back, like, we don't really have a game, right?
Yeah.
But, like, logically, it doesn't make a ton of sense to, like, especially because Aladdin's like, well, let me come with you. And they're like, no, the world order. But then they're like, well, Genie can come with us. That's fine.
Yeah, he's
It's
cool,
like, well,
though. He's cool as hell.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. Aladdin, you're kind of not cool, bro. But Genie, he's cool.
Like,
He's cool.
every world knows what a genie is, so they want
Yeah.
to be freaked out. Like, every
Yeah.
world
They don't
order,
know-
they know
they
about
don't-
genies. They
They
don't
don't
know
what
about
an
street
Arabian
rats.
guy is. They don't
Yeah,
know what an
yeah.
Arabian guy is. You're right.
They're like, yo, what's
That's
a
my bad.
street rat doing here?
That's my bad. I
One
want to take a
thing-
minute to talk about
sorry,
the
go ahead.
performance of Homer Simpson as Genie, because it just, I can't not hear Homer Simpson.
What's really funny is, in Japanese, Aladdin's name is Arajin, like Arajin is how you would
Okay.
like put it in Romanji. So Arajin. And then when Genie introduced himself first, he's like, Genie-chan desu. Like, it's so funny. It's just so, it's so freaking funny. And so I was like, yo, this guy is so goated. Like, I need to, because, I've been wanting to look and see, what other things have the voice actors done? Because it's like, a lot of times they do a lot of anime and stuff, and I know a lot of people listen to anime. So with Genie, the voice actor for Genie in Japanese also voice acts Donald Duck
Oh, wow.
in like everything. He also is Stitch in everything. So he's
That
just
makes
got the
sense.
like type of people locked down. I'm surprised I didn't see Smeagol in there too.
Yeah, no kidding.
But he's also Tien in DBZ and
Oh, shit.
Beerus in DBS.
Oh, shit.
And then he also kind of has like the funny type of characters in like Disney and like DreamWorks and all those type of stuff, like Bob in Treasure Planet, like those type of characters, like Genie, like Bob. He's also the red robot in Robots, who's like always falling apart and shit. Like that exact archetype. He just has that archetype like locked down. Like there's like, hey, bring him in. He's the GOAT.
Bro's
and then
getting
also
that check.
he's Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop, which I don't know.
Random.
Most people listening to this probably watch that in English because it is like a very goated dub. Apparently, I've never watched it. But if you did watch it in Japanese, that's the same voice actor as Donald and Genie in Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
Also, Aladdin is Kisuke Urahara from Bleach. He's also Zamasu from DBS, which is like the merge of like Supreme Kai and shit. And then he's Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. And then he's also James from Pokemon and like 5 million Pokemon over the last like 20 years or whatever.
So like he does like the Pokemon like saying their name type shit.
Yeah. So he does a bunch of crazy voices and stuff. What was the other? Oh yeah, and then since Maleficent hasn't done a ton, I figured I'd drop her in here too. She does a ton of different like Disney and DreamWorks characters and stuff, especially like a lot of like evil ones as well. But her most well-known role, she's Mayumi Matsushita from AI Somnium Files. And then she's also Tiffany Evergarden from Violet Evergarden, which is like Violet Evergarden's grandma, I think. But yeah, she's pretty goated.
Lots of goated Japanese voice actors.
Yeah, a lot of the other voice actors, so similarly to in English, it's like, yo, you just voice acted this character, like Jafar. Just Jafar, bro. Nothing else.
Oh shit.
A lot of the other, like, same thing with Jasmine. Only Jasmine, bro. I think they did like one other like kind of like Disney princess, but like they're not. Like I was like, this looks like Disney, but I don't know who the hell that is, kind of thing.
Right.
Like some bootleg Disney characters, but
yeah, Timu Disney.
Also, one thing that I noticed as well that I thought was a little interesting is that the Keyblade in Japanese is called the Desire Lamp.
Oh, the one that you get from Agrabah?
Yeah. It's a desire lamp instead.
I mean,
of
wishing lamp, desire lamp. I could see.
Yeah.
That those are similar names. Desire lamp. What if instead of desire lamp it was freaky lamp? You know what I mean?
Hey, bruh, same thing.
Right. Exactly. So after Agrabah, we get a cutscene of the Villain's Veil with Hades and Riku and Maleficent, and it's revealed here that Riku actually grabbed Jasmine, because Hades is like, if you would have stuck around to help Jafar, he might have been okay, and he's like, hey, I did my job, I got the princess. And then Maleficent remarks that Jafar just got too deep into the darkness, and that's why he failed. You know,
he got lost in the soup.
And they look at Hades, and Hades is like, hey, that's not me. Hold on. Wait. Whoa. And so Hades is like, hey, kid, we got something special for you. And Maleficent's like, we had a deal. You know, you help me, and I'm going to grant your wish, which is, and they show Kairi asleep somewhere. And she goes, go to her. Your vessel is waiting. And this is when Captain Hook comes in and delivers the goated line, "This is no pleasure cruise." And Riku kind of questions this. He goes, why are you doing all this for me? What's the catch? And she's kind of like, no, you're like a son to me. I want to help you. And he's kind of like, yeah, right, lady.
Yeah, he's seeing through it.
But he also isn't, because he's definitely been manipulated by her, but he's not willing to go as far as be like, yeah, you're like my mom.
He's like okay with being manipulated at this point,
right?
You know,
because it's benefiting
like many
him,
of us. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you know what? It's not called Wishing Lamp. The Keyblade in English, I was wrong. It's called 3 Wishes.
3 Wishes.
Yeah, I thought Wishing Lamp is Cage 2.
Cage 2.
I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds right.
All right. So moving on. So now, no matter what way you go in the gummy ship, our good friend Fudgy the Whale shows up to eat us alive. It's a giant whale! And before you wake up in Monstro, there is a flashback cutscene of Riku and Sora kind of discussing, stuff that little kids do, like, oh, there's a monster here, I swear I saw it. And they're much younger than they were when we started with them. And, just them having a bonding moment of going into the secret place. But the interesting thing they say at the end is that, hey, what's the deal with the new girl that came to town? Does that happen this cutscene? I think it does. They find out it's just the wind making noise first. I forgot that part, but that's when they see the door in the secret place.
That's when they see the door. I would need to rewatch it in English to know what they said, because, bro, in Japanese, they put like a paragraph on the screen for literally like 1 Mississippi. That bitch is gone. I'm like, bro, there is no way that like a native Japanese speaker are reading some of those. Like, it's genuinely crazy, the, like, brick of a paragraph that'll be on there sometimes. Like, flashed for literally half a second. I'm like, what is happening? Like, yeah, I'm not a native speaker. Yeah, I'm a little rusty with reading and stuff because I haven't done it recently. But I'm like, bro, even if I, like, spoke this, like, if I was trying to speak it to somebody, if I spoke it at like 4x, I probably couldn't get it all out sometimes. Like, it is so crazy how fast. So I was like, bro, I don't know what they're saying half the time. I'm like, what is happening right now? Because there's not audio. Like, it's just... It's just the text to kind of make it feel like disembodied and spooky or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in English, they're just talking about, hey, they think there's a monster in the secret place, and then they find out it's just the wind, and then they see the door, and they're like, huh, that's weird, never seen this before. And then as they're leaving, they go, hey, did you see the new girl at the mayor's house? And they're talking about Kyrie, obviously. But it's just kind of like trying to, I think the point of the cutscene is to reiterate that Sora and Riku were really good friends before all this, right? Because Monstro is a bit where they try to turn that on its head slightly, because this is the first time Riku's going to act entirely antagonistic towards Sora. And we wake up in Monstro, and this is when Pinocchio's going fucking nuts. He's just like fucking throwing shit around. They're like, who let this guy in here go crazy, you know? So this is why I'm watching this with new eyes, Jay, and this is why I don't really understand still what's happening with Pinocchio. Like, your explanation makes sense to me, but when they see Pinocchio, for Donald goes, who's there? And he goes, it's me, Pinocchio. And Donald goes, oh, it's Pinocchio. Pinocchio? And then Jiminy jumps on your shoulder and goes, Pinocchio, what are you doing? And it's almost like they're surprised to see Pinocchio. So it's like, if he was on the gummy ship the whole time, wouldn't they just be like, oh yeah, of course Pinocchio's here?
I literally had looked up, like, when we were first talking about it, how does Pinocchio get into Monstro after being in Traverse Town? And, like, there was a post that I saw on Reddit where basically they were saying, hey, this is my first time learning that you can see Pinocchio in Traverse Town. And I was always really confused that Sora just seemed like he already knew Pinocchio when he had never met him. So there's like a weird, like, if you don't see the cutscene, he acts like he already knows Pinocchio. Like, there's not like an introduction or whatever. And then, like, if you do see it, it's like they're shocked to see him. So
Well,
it really doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't, because
honest.
also Geppetto, like Pinocchio runs off, and then it cuts to Geppetto on his little boat. Because the lore of Pinocchio, I don't know if you've ever seen Pinocchio, but they get swallowed by the whale when they're sailing on this boat. Both Pinocchio and Geppetto and Jiminy and the goldfish, the weirdly sexy goldfish, all get inside Monstro, right? And Pinocchio grabs the item that he runs off to Geppetto and shows him, and he goes, "What do you got there, Pinocchio?" And he goes, "With this, we can get out of here, father." But Geppetto isn't surprised to see Pinocchio either. Right? You think if Pinocchio just came here on the gummy ship with us, he'd be like, "Oh my God, it's my fucking son! Holy shit!" You know,
Right.
But no, he's just like, "What you got there, boy?" So it doesn't line up. Like
I wonder if maybe when you talk to him later or something, once they have the house, like you can kind of piece it together or something. Like maybe, he stayed there with Geppetto and Geppetto's there, but you can't talk to him or something, like in
right.
Traverse, and then they try to leave Traverse Town, and then after having left Traverse Town, they get swallowed or something. Maybe, I don't know. It's something we'll have to keep an eye on.
Geppetto says, "I'm Pinocchio's father. I've been looking all over for him. I hope he was a good boy in my absence." It still doesn't make sense. It still just doesn't make sense. Like and then during that, Pinocchio runs off to follow Riku, obviously. How do you feel overall about Monstro, Jay? Because I think Monstro is, growing up, I always thought people hated Monstro no matter what. I think Monstro's a lot more divisive than that. I think there are some people that love Monstro. I think there are some people that hate Monstro. How do you personally feel about Monstro?
I used to hate Monstro, because I never knew like where to go. And so, like, you end up just being there for a really long time and, like, fighting all these hordes and stuff. And, like, I think, like, learning, like, speed running and rando and stuff, I definitely was the guy who would just, like, if I run into a group of enemies, I'm going to fight them. Unless I've, like, been playing for a really long time and it's, like, really late game and, like, I know I'm not, like, probably going to level and, like, the levels don't matter or something, like. This is like doing all that stuff, right?
Right.
So before, it would take me a really long time to get through Monstro because you're just constantly fighting all these hordes and there's like multiple waves and you can fall down while fighting and then like fuck up where you were. So now you got to go back through and you're fighting. And I remember it just taking so much longer and being so annoyed. Whereas now it's like, I know where to go. And like you can just follow the green lights and like it's pretty straightforward once you know where to go. So like I don't mind it as much, and like both the bosses are like baby mode easy. So like it doesn't feel too bad. I remember being really pissed off at Riku when I was playing as a kid. And pissed off, like irrationally pissed off at Pinocchio. I hated Pinocchio.
Yeah,
because
Pinocchio
of Monstro
sucks.
as a kid.
Yeah,
but like, get me out of here.
Yeah. So, I'm of a similar vein. I used to really hate Monstro. Now I just think it's fine. I will tell you though, when I played it, I just rushed to, like, I fought a couple mobs and just rushed to the green entrances. You know what I mean? To get through it. Because I still have that bad, like, it's almost like anti-nostalgia, you know? Where, like, nostalgia, it's like you have fond memories of it, but it's not as good as you remember. Where this is like, I still have bad memories of it, but it's not as bad as I remember, you know?
One thing, having played it, like, in this playthrough, having played Melody of Memory, and like really coming to like the battle theme, I was able to like appreciate it more in the moment because like there were certain ones where I'd stop because I'm like, oh yeah, this is like really easy to kill these large bodies or the ghosts or whatever, and they like give you like a lot of XP or whatever. So I was just grabbing those, and I was like, yeah, this is a banging track. Like,
it is.
For a world I used to despise, the battle music is banging.
Yeah, the part where it's like, and you're like hitting fucking barrels in Melody of Memory. Yeah, that shit goes hard.
exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of XP too, bro, one thing that they need to bring back in Kingdom Hearts in general, bro, is getting XP from killing a boss, bro. When you kill the Parasite Cage first time, boom, plus 650. Like, you're probably going to level up every time that happens, right?
Yeah.
You fight the second Parasite Cage, boom, plus 1,300 XP. Like, that just feels good, bro. Like, even if you're not getting, like, a Keyblade for beating the boss or, like, a magic for beating the boss, like, just, if you just gave me the XP, bro, I'm not feeling that bad. You know, like, I'm like 1,000 experience. Holy shit. But then you also get other shit on top of it a lot of times, too. So it's just like, it just feels good when you're fighting a boss and you get that kill and boom, fat ass number pops up in slow-mo. Like, that shit's just goated.
I agree. So, story-wise, Riku's obviously here. You go to get Pinocchio for Geppetto, and Riku's like, no, you don't like games anymore, Sora. Me and Pinocchio are playing. And so, like, he runs off with Pinocchio, and you chase after him. Maleficent shows up to Riku and is like, why do you still care about this boy? And he's like, I'm just messing with him. And she's like, okay, sure, bud. Whatever you say, pal. And then Riku kind of like says, it seems like all you care about is running around with that Keyblade. Do you even want to save Kairi? And Sora's like, well, of course I do. But then we hear Pinocchio calling for help, and he is trapped in the Parasite Cage #1. And you and Riku team up with Donald and Goofy to fight the Parasite Cage. And I remember as a kid, or as a teenager, I guess, being like really hype about that. Like, oh, we're fighting him with Riku. That's so cool, right? And it's probably one of the only times until they made party sizes bigger in like Cage 3 that you have like 4 people on your side.
Yeah. Some of the few times. It's definitely like the first time.
It's the first time, and it's one of the only times, I think. And they'd always tell you, oh, it's because of the limitations of the game engine, but it's like, you did it with Riku, so what's the problem? So Parasite Cage spits I almost said Pikachu, what the fuck? Spits Pinocchio into the hole, and it drains water in the main area so you can get high jump. But Riku goes after him, and this is where we get the famous line of Riku saying, sorry, old man, I have some unfinished business with this puppet.
Hey, yo.
As he's holding an unconscious Pinocchio under his arm. Yeah,
no, did he? Bro, speaking of Pinocchio, the first time that, like, when I forgot to mention this, bro, Jiminy living up to his tier, the Jiminy tier, bro. In Japanese, instead of calling him Pinocchio, he calls him Pino.
Oh no.
Pino?
Oh no.
You're calling the little boy Pino? Ain't no way, bruh. Lock Jiminy up, bruh. Lock him up.
Yeah. Riku says something when he's holding Pinocchio that says, puppet is unique. Not many of them have hearts. I'm not sure, but maybe he can help someone who's lost theirs. And Sora's like, are you talking about Kairi? And he's like, what do you care about her? And then he leaves, right? And so that's kind of the first hint that Kairi maybe doesn't have her heart.
What?
You get high jump here, and then you kind of just follow Riku into the upper area that you can now access through high jump. And then you go up into the stomach.
In the bone hole.
And you fight. Sora gives this speech about, Riku, you might not hear it, but to me it's loud and clear, and it's telling me you're on the wrong side. And he's talking about his conscience. And Riku's like, okay, sure, man. And then Pinocchio does this stupid fucking thing where Jiminy runs over to him, and he goes, Jiminy, I'm not going to make it. And then his nose grows, and he's like, well, I guess I'm fine. It's like, you fucking idiot.
I kind of liked it in Japanese.
Well, how did it go in Japanese?
The delivery. He's like, Jiminy. Boku wa dame da yo. Just like I just, dame is like kind of weird because it's like I can't, I'm not, I'm bad kind of thing. And then his nose grows. He's like, oh, like Dame janai mitai. Like, it's just like how he says it. It's just like, because dame janai is like not bad. And then mitai is like, it looks like. He's like, looks like I'm not bad. Sick. Like,
Yeah, fucking dope. The second parasite cage drops down, and Riku bounces, and Jiminy and Pinocchio run away. And you fight it, and it's easy, and it's like, you know, whatever. And that's how Monstro kind of ends. As the place is kind of, it seems like it's like blowing up, and Sora's like, Riku, where are you? And he's gone. And then you get the stop
dark
spell.
Portals out of there, and nobody notices, bro. Nobody sees this red flag. Not even Jiminy, whose job is literally to be just watching, writing it down. Come on now, Jiminy saw that shit, bro. I already know.
Yeah, he's lying. Riku teleported to what we will know later as Hook's ship, and Kyrie's laying there, and he's like, so she's a puppet now? And Maleficent's like, yeah, she lost her heart, taken by the Heartless, no doubt. And he's like, what do I do? And she's like, we have to collect the 7 princesses of heart, and then together a door will open to the heart of all worlds. Within lies untold wisdom, and we will find a way to recover Kyrie's heart. And then she goes, I'm going to grant you a marvelous gift, the power to control the Heartless. And he starts glowing all green and shit. And he goes, soon, Kyrie, soon. So Riku is becoming evil boy to save Kyrie.
What?
And we get sneezed out of Monstro, and that's kind of how.
Is this the first time that we've ever been like quote unquote spoiled on a Disney World before even being there?
Like showing it off, you mean?
Yeah, well, like they don't necessarily show it off. Like you just see we Hook ship, right? Like the inside, like the interior or whatever. But like,
well, they kind of imply that it exists when he says the pleasure cruise line, right?
Right. No, but I mean, like literally, like showing it. Like I don't think like you don't see like a deep jungle like after you beat like Wonderland or something. Like I don't think this happens again. Like I know we see Hollow Bastion, but as far as Disney Worlds, because like you see Hollow Bastion when Riku wakes up and the Council of Evildoers is at hand.
Right. All right. So that's kind of where we got to. Next time you guys are going to play through Atlantica, yikes, Halloween Town, and Neverland. We're going to do all 3 in the next episode. So that's where we'll play till next. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will do the question of the week. Be right back.
This is Richard Epcar. Welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. Come to the darkness.
Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. And Jason, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt. No, just kidding. It's time for the...
How would you do that to me?
Question of the week. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Afroxis. This week's question of the week is, what is your favorite moment from the next 3 worlds, Traverse Town, Agrabah, and Monstro, and why? And I'm beginning to sense some fatigue with this type of question, so I think we're going to switch it up at the end of this. But
yeah,
let's get some answers here. Mr. Watercage says Bonehole. Serious answer. Monstro was such a cool change up to the formula of travel to this world than this one. It broke up the monotony and was a big surprise when I was playing this for the first time. Shout out to Bonehole.
I guess I never realized like basically like Hook's ship essentially does the same thing, kind of, right?
Yes.
Where it's like I never like equated the two before, but it's kind of the same.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Sean says easy, the Traverse Town keyhole.
That's a banging part.
It is. I said it's one of my favorites.
Very memorable.
Curtis says, my favorite moment was getting swallowed by Monstro, hashtag Vor, hashtag not the one from Dark Road, if you know what I mean.
Ain't no way.
Fabio says, my favorite part of these worlds was teaming up with Riku for the Parasite Cage and Monstro. I mentioned in the book club how much I like Riku's integration in the story around this part of the game, and this is where it culminates for me in the mid-game. Somehow feels like a peak fan service type moment, while also feeling like a well-earned story beat, and also bittersweet since you pretty much know by this point that Riku is not on the side of light for some reason.
Yeah, it feels a lot like the type of thing you would come up with when you're like playing with your action figures as a kid. But like, because it just works, you know? Like,
right.
Oh, here's the guy who's gonna be bad, but he's helping you for now before he turns bad. Just to kind of...
Having the, like, cool anti-hero friend is just... It's a trope for a reason, right? Because it's dope and it works, you know? Having the...
straight fire.
Knuckles the Echidna, you know? The Riku. Other examples I can't think of right now.
Somehow also Shadow.
Somehow Shadow. Yeah, Sonic does it too much. How about James Franco in Spider-Man? Spider-Man 3, he comes back to be your bud, you know? That's pretty cool.
That's true.
After being amnesia. Riku didn't get amnesia, though.
I saw a clip from the second Spider-Man movie, and Harry's hair in that is just so repugnant. He has a perm, and it's like a short perm.
Yeah.
I was like... Damn, this shit did not age well, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
like, I remember thinking James Franco was so cool. Obviously, he didn't age well.
I was just gonna say, like, not the only thing about James Franco that didn't age well.
But like, bruh, it did
Shout
not.
Shout out to anti-heroes.
Like, what is that?
NGC says, at one point I would have had the Jafar fight as my favorite moment, but now I think it's actually just the initial return to Traverse Town. Being able to open up new areas with Red Trinity, return some Dalmatians, etc. gives a sense of progression. And then, Hand in Hand kicks in as the battle theme and makes me remember why I love this game so much. The mix of progressive exploration and atmosphere is what makes the first game so enjoyable in my opinion. Also love how Sid is like, ring the bell 3 times and see what happens, XD. You know, he just turned to Leon and said, this is gonna be so fucking funny.
So watch this. Wait, how did they figure this out? Like, who was the poor soul who figured this out?
Right. I don't know.
And like, did they like have to ring it a 4th time for it to go away?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Because obviously, like, they boarded it up, right? It's like they were like, yo, do not ring this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Sid knows that. Between his crash out about Maleficent and that, he's up to some cheeky shit this time around.
He knows things.
Yeah. Captain Bacon says, so my favorite thing we got to do was reunite the best Kingdom Hearts characters, Jiminy Cricket and Geppetto. Just kidding. My favorite is just Agrabah. The Jafar and Maleficent feel like such a power couple in this world. I love the Pot Centipede and the Wizard Jafar fight so much. Agrabah is the middle high point of KH1. It's so freaking cool. The Overrun City, the Cave of Wonders, some peak KH right there. All right, Captain Bacon, you might be banned.
He doesn't know we've already shit on it for the last hour.
Captain Bacon might be banned. Retired Guardian says, well, I'm working from memory for this chapter because my PS5 has decided its disk drive is broken. Fun. What the fuck? What? Anyway, my favorite moment is probably the high jump unlock. Getting access to new areas in all the previous worlds by progressing through the game makes for interesting exploration. True.
Hey, getting your first like shared ability was cool.
It's almost like Metroidvania in a way, you know? Like a Metroidvania.
It's true.
It's like unlock this area.
And like I've realized with like some of the Metroidvania stuff in Arkham Asylum recently, I've just kind of, I don't know if I like it. It like kind of feels tedious to me. I don't know.
That's a discussion for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Energy Scott says, I love how prior to this section, the story is very much about Sora and his new friends, but now it digs into Riku a lot more. In Traverse Town, he's portrayed as jealous that Sora has new friends and that Maleficent's trickery is working. However, after Agrabah, there's an amazing scene with Riku, Maleficent, and Hades. Firstly, they talk about Jafar's downfall, which is great for crossover storytelling. But then we see more into Riku's manipulation, and you can see that he's fully aware that he's most likely being deceived somehow, but he's fully focused on saving Kairi. Then, of course, we start to see the cracks in his personality through Monstro. I love this section, and it worked amazingly well for the book club. I still didn't love Agrabah, but it's most likely because this won't be the last time we'll be talking about it. P.S. Shout out to KH Guides for getting me through Proud Mode. Shout out KHGuides.com.
Shout out KH Guides. Shout out KH
KHGuides.com. 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 I said gay H.
Oh my gosh.
It was a Freudian slip.
It's like an Xbox 360 lobby in here right now.
Gay H guides.
You just change a random word in their name to gay.
Well, no, because I flipped the letters. I said Gay H guides.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't just me being like, being
I feel like I was in a Black Ops 2 lobby for a second.
Yeah. Which, I wasn't saying gay derogatory.
Yeah.
It was gay. Just, you can say gay. Gay's not a swear word. Wait, is gay a swear word?
Is it gay to be gay?
Fellas, is it gay to be gay? You be the judge. Mr. Spanky says, I think my favorite part of this section was definitely my realization on how weird Monstro really is. I mean, sure, he's freely swimming between worlds and his guts look like an acid trip filled with Heartless, but the dude's so unhinged that his bowels empty down into his mouth. Like, what the hell?
True.
Yeah, dude. Fucking weird.
True. Does either one, Nomura knows something we don't, or two, he does not know shit about anatomy.
Yeah, I don't think Nomura knows anything about anatomy is the issue. SpikeGhetti says, my favorite part from this segment is getting to fight with Riku and Monstro. I thought I didn't care for Monstro, but I enjoyed it this time around. I was also excited to get high jump because I suck at jumping, so this is going to help greatly and save so much time for me. True. High jump is goated. I said earlier that Monstro's pretty divisive, but most people here seem positive on Monstro.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of come around on it over the years, And also, I think what helps it is that it's like you were just an aggro bruh before.
True.
Right? So like, I don't know. I might be pogging about like deep jungle if it was after, Like I might be like, yo, this is so sick to go around in circles.
I think Monstro's kind of had what I like to call the opposite of James Franco effect, where over time it's aged well, unlike James Franco. Anyway, Jip says, without a doubt, my highlight has to be Monstro. Now, before you judge me, I'm not going to defend the chambers and all the design of those rooms. That being said, A Very Small Wish is an all-time Kingdom Hearts track for me. The mouth is also such a cool room, and I love the design of it. Furthermore, being able to fight alongside Riku in the Parasite cage fight had me so hyped as a kid, and honestly still gets me hyped today. If you think about it, you won't get to fight alongside Riku for a very long time. Also, I have some unfinished business with this puppet is insanely funny.
True.
I do want to call Jip out a little bit here, because I'm gonna read one of his lines here. That being said, A Very Small Wish is an all-time Kingdom Hearts track for me. You can tell this guy just heard a YouTuber's opinion and now is just like regurgitating it. Dude. It's very, very sad.
Disgusting.
Very sad,
Disgusting.
Dude. A very, very regular opinion from Jip there.
Yeah. A very sad wish.
Yeah. A very sad wish. That's there's like a cuck joke in there or something, but I'm too dumb to find it right now. Orpheus Joshua says, Monstro is close, but the Cave of Wonders in Agrabah is probably my favorite portion here. KH doesn't really do traditional dungeons much, and this area is one of the few times it does. Really like the underground and surface layers and the puzzle to open the treasure room. Wish there were more of these types of locations in the series. That's true. It is kind of treated like a real dungeon, where they don't typically do that in Kingdom Hearts, right? They're just kind of rooms that you fight enemies in. But this has different places to go. It has puzzles to solve.
Yeah, and you're like, should I drop down in this room? Should I drop down in that room?
I do really like the design of the Cave of Wonders. I just always think of the damn tiger head, and I get mad about it when I think about it. So,
well, because it's like, you go in, and like you definitely don't want to fall. Like that's like your just initial gamer sense, right?
Right.
And then you find that the way is blocked, and you're like, shit, what do I do now? And then there's like the stairway that you can go down. Like that's like probably the way they intended for you to figure that out, right? And then all of the going around on the waterfalls and everything, and then eventually you find this thing that's crumbling, and then you can actually target it, and there's the little statues you can target with a boo and stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's pretty cool exploratory as like when it's like your first time. I think in like the retrospect of the book club, right? It's like I think I'm like in Monstro, I remember I was like using high jump to get out the chests, and there's the one in like the very like if you're standing at the mouth looking deep in, it's like in the very top right, and it's like the one you have to do like the most jumps to get to, and I get it, and then it's just a cottage, and I was like literally out loud said, all those jumps for a cottage? Like what? Where it's like, bro, let me get an AP up or something at least, bro. Come on,
or like
now.
a torn page or a Dalmatian or.
Right. Because then the one in the front of the room is Dumbo. It's like that's Pog, right? You're like, okay.
Yeah, that is.
The other one's a gummy. You're like, come on, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on, bruh.
SB Cat says, my favorite part of this set of worlds is Monstro. It's funny. It's so funny how a whale just eats us in the middle of flying between worlds. How did he even get there? That is a good question, because it's like Hook's ship, you're like, okay, maybe they added some gummy blocks to it, right?
Right.
But Monstro, it's not like the world that Pinocchio and characters live in is called Monstro. Like, he's not a world.
It's the same way as how Beast gets around. It's just pure will. It's pure will.
Monstro's just a mad boy.
Pure will and rage. Sheer rage and
He's
will.
like, I gotta eat that fucking puppet and that old man.
I said, they're not gonna get away from me this time. Not this time.
Okay, I vibe with it. Angry
He's
Monstro.
like Smeagol at Mount Doom.
Yeah. And finally, we have R. Russo, who says, I just finished the required reading for this week's pod, and also caught up from the previous week, but we don't have to talk about that. Anyway, my favorite part of these three worlds was discovering that you can talk to Pinocchio in Traverse Town before you meet him in Monstro. It genuinely surprised me, as I've never seen him there before. I was like, hold up, what the hell are you doing here? Then he's in Monstro somehow? This little guy is a magical imp traveling between worlds as he pleases. Do you think Pinocchio also used the Beast method?
Hell no.
Oh. Well.
Hell to the no.
So that's going to do it. Well, no, we should answer. Jay, what's your favorite part?
Monstro, but for a different reason that everybody said, you know. I remember playing it as a kid, and, you know, I grew up playing Ocarina of Time. And there's a similar instance where you go inside a giant fish boy. Inside a Jabu Jabu. When you go in, you can see his teeth from the inside, right? Like when you're like, you go in, you turn around, that motherfucker's mouth closed, but you see like his gums and his teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like very afraid of Jabu Jabu in that dungeon because it's just creepy and there's like parasites and it's like really hard comparatively to like it's like the second dungeon and you're like, bro, what is going on here? Or third, I forget.
But
anyway, you're like, bro, what, get me out of here. And so I remember the first time playing it, I get to Monstro and I'm in another big ass fish and I'm seeing its gums from the inside and I was like, oh no. I remember being afraid being inside Monstro. But then it's like way more like whimsical and like like the parasite cage isn't very like, it doesn't evoke the same like as like the enemies do in Ocarina of Time. They're not, there's not enough like pulsating and like weird like translucency and like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't give you that like cringe factor. And so it's like, now, playing it again, having the, like, you know, more appreciation for the battle theme, and a very small shit, and, like, just more appreciation for the level. It's like, it brought me back in time to the memory of being in there the first time and being like, not Jabu Jabu again. But then being pleasantly surprised. But like, also triggered because I was lost for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody had the same experience then. But now that we know where to go, it seems like everybody likes Monstro. So, my favorite is probably the Traverse Town Keyhole. I just think I agree. I think somebody said that like it going there a second time and being able to unlock more stuff and do more stuff is really cool. And I like that the keyhole's kind of hidden in plain sight. And I like well, I don't like the interactions with Donald as much. I still like that that's where they're setting the seeds for Riku going to the dark side. And yeah, I just think the second visit to Traverse Town is a lot of fun. So that's what I'll say. So that being said, I don't want to just do, what's your favorite part of Atlantica, Halloween Town, and Hook Ship, or Neverland? Because it seems like I feel some fatigue from that question, which is understandable. So, Here's the question I have instead, Jason. Out of all the Kingdom Hearts 1 bosses, they don't have to be ones that we have fought before. What is your Mount Rushmore of evil?
The evil Mount Rushmore of KH1 bosses.
The evil Mount Rushmore of KH1 bosses. Who's on your Mount Rushmore? It can be, you know, may I nominate a Phantom? May I nominate a Kurt Ziza? May I nominate a Unknown? You know, there's a lot of different options here. So give us your 4 worst bosses in Kingdom Hearts 4. The Mount Rushmore of evil, if you will. So please answer that. And then obviously for the book club, you're going to play through Atlantica, you're going to play through Halloween Town, and you're going to play through Neverland to catch up. And it's only a week away. We're only a week from, so less than a week away because we record on Wednesdays. So you have to get your question of the week answer in.
You got like 4 days.
By the 11th. Okay? And I'll put it in the Discord today. So if you're a Discord member, you will have seen this already. If you're not a Discord member, what the heck are you doing? Click that link down in the description. Get on in here. Come talk to us about Kingdom Hearts. We talk about all kinds of other stuff too if you're into that. We got a Minecraft server you can join. We got secret events that we're planning that we're not going to mention on the podcast, but if you join the Discord, you'll see them. We got all kinds of stuff. We talk about football, music, movies, anime, other podcasts. We talk about everything in there. There's a big community of like 400 some people in there, and so I know that might sound intimidating to some of you, but it's actually not. People are very nice and cool, and so if you're not in the Discord and you're doing the book club, come join, please. We'd love to hear from you, especially on the question of the week and just in general. So, all right, that's going to do it for this episode, Jason. Thank you for joining me.
I feel like we had some kind of crazy energy today. I think it was a banger, though.
Yeah, you think so?
I think we kind of cooked.
Yeah, I was a bit rambly at the start. I will say that. I was kind of jumping all over the place. You know, I talked about mobile gaming. I was a little unhinged, which is normal though. Hinged is abnormal for me. You know,
honestly,
like if I'm hinged up, it's not good. But if I'm
gotta keep it unhinged.
If I'm swinging around the door frame like some kind of freak, that's the sweet spot. Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching. Email us at answerreportpodcast@gmail.com. Comment, do all the stuff, like, subscribe. You know, you guys know what to do. And we will see you guys in a week for the next part of the book club. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Now fuck off.